Yo. Dang. Yo. What up, though? What's good? What up, everybody, man? What up? Checking in. It's Tuesday. Big Tuesday. One of the best days of the week because the stream is today. I'm back home in the hub. You can see I'm at Unnecessary Bluntness headquarters. Give it up for Unnecessary Bluntness headquarters. It's good to be back home. I did not go to training camp these past 2 days because I will be there next week. All next week I'm there from Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, joint practice. I'm there. So I'm gearing up for that final push of training camp. So I took these past 2 days off, but we have a lot to talk about today. A lot of stuff has happened over these past 2 days. The depth chart was released. We heard about Bryce Young not going to play in the first preseason game. Okay. A lot of people are upset. A lot of people are upset about it. And I think, like most things, the right answer is somewhere probably in the middle. I know it's not controversial. It's not a hot take. It's not all that. It's just logic. It's straight up logic. Y'all know me. I read the tea leaves. I think outside the box. I try to be as practical as possible. Y'all know how I do. This is Aaron Duncan here with the Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk. Recap and analysis of the Panthers is the main thing we do on this channel. We'll be branching out and doing some other things very, very soon, so I'm excited about that. But tune in to my channel to get your Panthers water cooler talking points 2 to 3 business days in advance. If you want to get the latest, I'm not an inside guy. I just read the tea leaves. So if you want to get the scoop and the inside 2 to 3 business days in advance, holla at your boy. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button. And everybody that's in here, we got 95 people checking in already. Give it up for yourself. Please give the video a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. That engagement does a lot. The engagement does a lot for me. You know, it does a lot. So I appreciate it a lot. Those are free. Like Pat Coltrane said, Dems is free. Sit back, grab you your favorite adult beverage. I got me a Blue Point Imperial Sunshine. I think this is local Florida brew. I think it's a blonde ale. It's pretty strong, 9%. So we'll see what happens. Actually, no, it's New York. Excuse me. I bought it in Florida, but it's a wheat beer. So crack you one open. I'm cracking me one up. We got a couple things to talk about. All right. And since the depth chart came out yesterday, I want to talk about that first. I want to talk about the depth chart. Okay. Yeah, step on that like button. Let me get to these comments. I can't get. Hold on. I gotta run this back. I gotta run it back. I apologize, y'all. I apologize. You know how I always tell y'all, you can't walk into your house, can't walk into somebody else's house without greeting everybody. So I got to get into these comments. I got to get into the comments and say, what's up? I always get on to y'all talking about so your grandma would get on you if you get on and didn't speak. So I got to get into the comments. If you're watching the replay, this is more interactive. This is not like my normal videos where I'm just talking at the camera. This is an interactive show. There will be news and updates. It won't be me interacting the whole time. So just bear with it. Enjoy it. Sit back and enjoy. You know, it's a little extended version of me. Non-scripted, but we have an outline. D-Cash, what up, though? Kateris, what up? Keep pounding. Josh was good. Nicholas Moore, what up, though? Greetings, Shane. What's good, PPP? What's up, bro? Stony E, what up, though? Says an epic score. Calling it a score is fine. A score. It is. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. Nick Moore, what up, though? You already said it 3 times. Double O Kane in that thing. Mr. Luke Cage, what up, though? Say he in Philly this week. Say man, go to the complex, ask for a center and a pass rusher. Yeah, ask if Kelsey want to come out of retirement. J Rock, what up, though? Said dope intro. Appreciate it. King Domo, what up, though? Marcus Stringfield, what up, though? What's good, bro? Glad you're tuning in. Yeah, it's been a minute. Stony E, what up, though? Did I enjoy my stay in Charlotte? It was cool, man. Charlotte, being actually in downtown Charlotte, man, I'm not going to lie. This is my first time actually like being downtown in Charlotte frequently because like training camp is typically in Spartanburg. And so when I go to Charlotte, I'm only there for a couple hours for a game or fan fest or whatever. And I'm getting right back on the road and leaving. So being extended time in Charlotte, it's actually not bad. It's a lot slower than where I'm at now downtown. It's actually safer. It's very walkable. So it's cool. I'm gonna be there for that last week of training camp. So try to do some more sightseeing. Probably go see a brewery, of course. Check out I guess the nightlife, quote unquote, and stuff like that. And so I'm excited about getting back up there. It was cool. Just I hate that drive. I tell y'all all the time I hate that drive. Shout out to my guy Mr. Go 30 said Bryce needs the reps. We gonna get into it. Alex Gomez, what up, though? Rock Jones, what's good, bro? What up, though? Said be catching your videos and hit the likes. Appreciate you, bro. Said you been back. Okay, cool. We getting ready to crank up for that season, bro. We got to get in that mode. So excited to see Trevin Wallace. Me too. Said Bryce not playing tells me the coaches don't trust the O-line yet. Yeah, true. We're going to talk about it. Corey Ruffin, what up, though? Said hope all is well. Y'all hit that button, that like button and the subscribe button. Yes, sir. Step on the like button, said Mike Darko. I ain't say it. He said it. K-Shoes, what up, though? Said got to drink the sours. I can't do the sours, bro. It make my mouth water. Sour beers make my mouth water too much, bro. I can't do it. I'll be on this thing spitting. I'll be on this live stream spitting so hard y'all will feel it through the screen. Y'all will feel it through the screen. So those are your favorite beers and sours. Say back in my space, yeah, man. I'm here. I'm comfortable. I'm good. I got a great internet connection. I'm ready to get to it. Chris 2030, what up, though? Rhode Island born and bred fan since 99. 99 checking in for the 99 and 2000. Yes, sir. Welcome. What's good? Benig's podcast. What's good? What up, though, bro? What's good? Mike True Money. What's good, brother? QJ Smith. What up? Tim Estes. What up, though? It's Uptown, my brother. Yeah, I was staying literally smack dab downtown. I was like 5 minutes from the stadium. I was literally in scooter distance of training camp. So saw the video, but lively back. Appreciate you, bro. Magnum Cole, what up, though? Yeah, if you're new to the channel, we drop what up, though when you slide through. Jordan Bradley said, "What's up, big bro? What's good, bro?" Ronnie Boy, what it do? What up? CJ in the building for 2 fans in the stands. What's good, man? Appreciate you getting that. Appreciate y'all put what y'all been doing, man. Appreciate what y'all boys been doing. Getting out the videos and stuff for camp. How many wins you think we're going to have? Probably 6. Mingo Bryce anticipation is amazing. Yes, sir. All right. I'm caught up. I'm caught up on the comments. All right. Let's get into it. Let's look at this depth chart. Real quick, video thumbs up, please. Video thumbs up. We got 117 people watching. Give it up for yourselves. Pardon that. The DoorDash driver doesn't. They ignored my don't ring the doorbell stuff. If you heard that chime, my dinner is here. But anyway, so the Panthers. If you follow me on Twitter, I put a nugget out. Avera, what's up? The Panthers. If you follow me on Twitter, you know I put out. I was like, man, the Panthers should be dropping their first depth chart soon. I was like, last year they dropped it 4 days before the game. Literally 20 minutes after I said that. The notification dropped for the depth chart. That's what I don't know. I don't have no inside knowledge, bro. I just be digging deep. I got a pretty good, decent memory about what I need to remember. And then I connect the dots. I don't know. And I just I thought so. And everybody thought I had a crystal ball. Look, man, I just read the tea leaves. Cody Wilkerson, what up, though? Joe Baldwin, what up, though? Said, what I rank on offensive line? I can't call it. Probably bottom, probably in that lower third tier until they prove otherwise. But that's why we play the game. We don't play it on paper. We play it on the field. All right. So let's get into this depth chart. There we go. I was scared for a minute. I didn't think it was going to pull up. All right. So the depth chart dropped, bro. It dropped. And it was some very, very interesting things on this depth chart. So let's look at it. Let's go through. The first thing that sticks out to me looking at offense, the first thing is Jonathan Mingo here starting at the proverbial Z position. Now, we all know Jonathan Mingo was a second-round draft pick last year, number 39 overall. They drafted him in with the intent of him and Bryce Young being a very, very dynamic duo. You know, every young quarterback needs a young receiver to grow and develop with. Now, we've had multiple discussions about Jonathan Mingo on this channel. I dropped a video saying that, hey, he may be in trouble with the moves that they made this offseason. Hey, he may be in trouble. You know, he may be in trouble because they added Deontay. They had every intent on drafting a receiver because all the love they were showing Leggett before the draft. And then they were still talking. You know, they were still talking to free agents. So I thought he was in trouble. But maybe he was in trouble. But from what we seen from training camp, I also dropped that follow-up video talking about, hey, maybe Steve Smith was right about Jonathan Mingo. Because Jonathan Mingo, he's made a strong case for training camp MVP. He probably wouldn't win it, but he's up there. He tapered off for the past few days, but he had another good day of practice today. Another good day of practice today. And I said it before when I was talking about Miles Sanders. I don't get dug in on these players, bro. I love anybody that suits up for the Panthers. I respect them. Some people get on my nerves, but I respect them for the most part. I'm trying to be objective dunk this year. I'm an emotional, I'm a fan, but I'm trying to be objective dunk this year where if dudes prove me wrong, I'm not going to be hard-headed. Some dudes, yeah, it may take a little longer for them to prove me wrong, but I will give credit where credit is due. If Jonathan Mingo turns things around, I'll be happy to say I was quote-unquote wrong. I didn't say he was a scrub. I just thought that the way that the team was making moves, adding to the receiver room, that they may not have had him in their long-term plans. But clearly, he's made a case where you can't deny where he's at on this team. He's made a case where you can't deny his status. Jonathan Mingo deserves, if we're going to 3 wide receiver sets, Jonathan Mingo deserves to be a starter. He does. Like the route running has been improved. The dependability to catch. He's been there in the scramble drill for Bryce. He just looks a lot more confident. He said it himself that he just has another year of experience under his belt. He knows what he's doing. So I can't take anything from him. Now, unfortunately, it's at the quote-unquote expense of our first-round draft pick this year, Xavier Leggett. Now, I know some people are already calling Xavier Leggett a bust. I know how y'all do. I know how y'all do. I've been a fan long enough. I've been making content long enough. Believe it or not, I read the comments. I respond to the comments. I'm on Twitter. I'm in the comment section on IG. I stay off of Facebook. Panthers Facebook is just way too toxic. Not even toxic. It's just I don't want to use. I want to be nice. Panthers Twitter is bad, but Panthers Facebook is a whole nother level. Panther. If you've ever been on Panthers Facebook, as in like the groups or the comments on posts or just interacting with other fans, it's bad, man. It's bad. But what I've seen is just, look, people are talking a lot about Xavier Leggett. They're calling him a bust. He's like, how can our first round pick not start? How? And I get it. I get it. Because, yeah, you want your first rounders, proverbial first rounders, to have an instant impact on your team. Unless it's a quarterback that's going to ride the bench. You don't want to draft somebody in the first round with most of them just chilling and being in the long-term plans. But I just think with the thing with Leggett, they have a vision for him. They have a vision. And I think once he's healthy, he's going to get the ball in a different way. His role is going to be fairly different early on. They're going to bring him along slow. They're going to bring him along slow. I see y'all in the comments talking about Facebook, bro. Panthers Facebook is crazy, bro. It's like I said, there's a lot of terms I could use for Panthers Facebook, but this is a family show. This is a family show. It's a family show. But regardless, Xavier Legette is going to be fine. He's explosive. He's big. He's strong. He's fast. They're going to bring him along slow. He's got an injury. He had a slow start to camp. I don't think anybody saw, one, nobody predicted a Xavier Legette injury. You can't predict injuries. Two, nope. Tell me who saw Jonathan Mingo having this kind of training camp. You could be the biggest Jonathan Mingo truther in the world. You could have been, let's just be patient. Who saw him being arguably a training camp MVP? I don't think too many people saw that. I mean, Steve Smith said it because he was working in the bat cave with him this offseason, so I get it. But what Jonathan Mingo has been doing thus far in training camp, I don't think anybody can predict it. The thing is, man, progress is a beautiful thing. And patience is tough because we've been trashed for so long. So being patient is a scarce resource, and I'm not even going to be mad at people. Patience is a scarce resource. But there's something to be said about development. And like I said, I'm not pointing the finger because I'm not blameless. I wrote Mingo off just because I thought he was going to fall and turn into John. I thought he was going to turn into I thought he was going to turn into another Terrace Marshall Jr. That's what I thought. I didn't think he was trash. I just thought that the new coaching staff wasn't going to care about him. They were going to bring in their own guys they liked, and he was going to fall through the cracks. That was my prediction. I didn't want to just pronounce him garbage, but I think there's something to be said about development. And as a guy that was a big Chuba Hubbard truther, development, bro, people wanted Chuba Hubbard cut. And I'm going off on a little bit of tangent from the depth chart, but people wanted Chuba Hubbard cut his rookie year, his second year, because he was tripping over his feet sometimes. He was dropping passes. But what'd he do? Ever since probably his second year, he stayed after training camp. He probably does it during practice. After training camp, him and Tommy Tremble are on the jugs machine when nobody else is out there. When nobody else is out there, these guys are on the jug machine putting in work. They're on the jug machine. We've seen Tommy Tremble improve. We've seen Chuba Hubbard hands improve tremendously. His balance improved tremendously. His power improved tremendously. He's added pounds. And he's turned himself into our RB1. People wanted Chuba off the team. He filled in by default for Christian McCaffrey when McCaffrey got hurt. And because he was a fifth round pick and Matt Rule's wife liked him, people wanted Chuba gone. You add on the transgressions he had, like I said, as a rookie, some of the growing pains. People wanted Chuba off the team. And now he's the running back one. So there's something to be said about development and patience. So the lesson is there for Jonathan Mingo for 2, but also let's do the same thing for Xavier Legette. And I'm not even going to say, it's not even like Xavier Legette is a bust or he's just being trash. He's just injured right now. And it's not like he's going to play. He's just behind Jonathan Mingo. The only receiver out, Adam Thielen's spot was certified. Deontay Johnson's spot was certified. They were going to outplay Mingo. Nobody outside of the top 2 receivers on our team is outplaying Mingo right now. So I'm not mad. It's not an L for Leggett to be behind him. Yes, there's a loaded. Had you picked one of those outside of that top three, outside of those big three receivers in his class, a lot of these guys were going to need some. They were going to need. They all had some flaws. So I'm not tripping. You know. So Leggett is going to play. Look. Mingo being a starter over our first round pick is a good thing. Having too many weapons is a good thing. Why are we mad about this? Why are we mad about Jonathan Mingo balling? Why are we mad about Xavier Leggett, who we know is going to be talented? Our receivers in front of him are so good that he's a backup right now. This is a good thing. This is a good thing. It's not bad. It's a good thing. We actually we have capable wide receivers. This is a good thing. Yeah, exactly. Somebody said if Mingo played in training camp like he did last year, Leggett would have started. Exactly, by default. Mingo has been hooping. So I'm not tripping. But yeah, somebody said the development, Derek Brown. They called Derek Brown a bust. Now you what, top 5? But let's keep it pushing. Another thing I saw was look at Chandler Zavala. Chandler Zavala, left guard number 2. That's huge to me. Now that is huge to me. Let's talk about this. Because we know our offensive line has not had the greatest start to training camp. We know our offensive line had a horrible year last year. We know Chandler Zavala was the worst rated guard in PFF history. PFF has graded like 3,000 players. Chandler Zavala was the worst graded guard in NFL they've ever graded. The worst ever. Now, we have to be consistent and say that development could happen. But there's also the side where hey, yes, development can happen, but sometimes guys can be in place by default. And that's what happens. Damian Lewis has a shoulder injury, so Zavala is the first man up. It's a tough one. I'm going to have to see it. I'm going to have to see it before I say I'm wrong. Now, Mingo has showed me enough for me to be optimistic and just be like, hey, man, I don't know. But to me, and I hate the flip-flopping and the switching and stuff like that, but Brady Christensen was the starting left guard last year. He was the starting left guard over Zavala. He had a solid game versus the Falcons. He got hurt. Zavala played that game, but Brady Christensen was the starting left guard. Why isn't Brady Christensen the backup left guard and the proverbial starter as of right now? I don't get it. And I get they don't want to flip him around too much, but I don't understand. I know they must want size. I think they just want size. I don't know. But to me, and like I said, I think they want that size so they can anchor on the inside and just hold up at the point of attack. That's got to be the motivation. Because in terms of performance and talent, you can't tell me that Brady Christensen isn't better than Chandler Zavala. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, yo. And I waste money on a lot of stuff, but I'm not buying this. I'm not buying that Brady Christensen isn't better than Chandler Zavala. I'm not. Like I said, the only thing you got to be telling me is that he's bigger and you want that pocket. You want somebody that can anchor and be strong to keep Bryce clean up front in the interior. That's the only logic. The only logic I can see of why you would have Zavala as the backup left guard a.k.a. the starter currently, because Damian Lewis is hurt. That's the only logical explanation, right? But look, my hashtag and my motto for this year, like I said, I'm objective dunk right now. I'm objective dunk. I'm a fan, but I'm gonna watch stuff play out. I'm gonna let stuff play out. Yeah, after wins or losses, I'm probably gonna get on. After wins, I'm gonna get on here and celebrate. At the losses, I'm gonna get on here and rant. But my motto is, we gonna see. Hashtag we gonna see. Because they selling us on certain stuff, but we gonna see. I'm not jumping the gun like last year. We gonna see. We gonna see. Chandler Zavala over Brady Christensen. We gonna see. DJ Johnson as your starting edge right now, we want him out. We gonna see. They told me that DJ Johnson is gonna surprise some folks this year. Dan Morgan said that. We gonna see. Dave Canales said it's a big year for it. We gonna see. Hashtag we gonna see. That's what I say. We gonna see. Cause a lot of the stuff I'm being told, I don't know about it. But I ain't got the energy to be fighting, y'all. I'm gonna just let it play out. We gonna see. We gonna see. Okay? Yeah, they're gonna have to show us. They're gonna have to show us this time around. Slick Vic said it. I think Zavala. Brady. I think Brady's. Is this Brady's contract year? It may be Brady's contract year. It may be. I think it may be year 4. I think he was drafted the same year as Chuba. So it's contract year for Brady, I think. Good point. Good point. But also, other thing is just Cade Mays. Cade Mays, the backup center. He's locked in at center. He's locked in at center. So that's interesting to me, because they told us that they were trying Brady Christensen at backup center. That's what they said. That's what they said. They were trying Brady Christensen at backup center. So we gonna see. Y'all gonna get tired of me saying it. We gonna see. Like I said, I ain't jumping the gun. I ain't saying nobody's a bust. I'm not saying that something stupid or something bad. We gonna see. we gonna see. Okay. But shout out to my guy Will Robinson on the super chat. Appreciate your brother always on the support. Saying we gonna see, point blank. Exactly. That's the motto for this year, man. We gonna see. We gonna see. We ain't buying all the Kool-Aid, man. We ain't drinking the Kool-Aid. We gonna see. Let's go to defense real quick on the depth chart. The only surprise for me, or two surprises. This is a surprise. We talked about it. DJ Johnson. Look, man. And I know Wanham is hurt. What is the timeline on Wanham? We don't know. He's probably going to go on PUP to start the year, or IR. Who knows? If it's IR or PUP. He had that quad procedure. Apparently, he had a setback on that quad procedure. He had 8.5 sacks last year, something like that. The fans that hated Brian Burns, they told me that we got 8.5 sacks. We replaced 8.5 sacks for what, 15, 20% of the price tag of Brian Burns. They told me that. They told me we got the same production. We're going to get the same production for a fraction of the price. That's what they told me. You know what I told them? We going to see. We going to see. I don't have time to argue about it. I don't agree. But I respect your opinion. We going to see. We will thoroughly find out. But right now, with DJ Wonnum, the best ability is availability. DJ Wonnum is not present to replace those Brian Burns sacks for a fraction of the price that you told me. We got DJ Johnson. Brian Burns is gone. DJ Wonnum, he ain't here. We got DJ Johnson, the third round pick that you traded up for. We gonna see. They say he's the best edge setter on the team. What about getting to the quarterback? Clowney can't be the only guy getting to the quarterback. We're gonna have to see some pass rush from DJ Johnson. Point blank, period. We're gonna have to. Even if he don't show moves, we just need motor. A motor will get you sacks. Motor will get you sacks. A good motor will get you to the quarterback. If you don't give up, you play hard every snap, you're relentless, that will get you some sacks. I think Jadeveon Clowney is going to get some pressure and could move the quarterback off the spot. He probably going to get double teamed and chipped because ain't nobody scared of DJ Johnson, so they're going to put all the resources. They're going to put all the resources and blocking towards Jadeveon Clowney, just like they did Brian Burns. So Johnson's going to be one-on-one. There's going to be some opportunities. We going to see. He's a third-round pick. We traded up for him in the draft last year. We going to see. Notice how all these picks from last year are getting their opportunities now. We got to find out what they are. These are, and I don't think it's insignificant. I think they are trying to put a lot of these guys up. Some of them are progressing. I think Mingo is definitely progressing. The guys that are kind of like on the fence about, they're giving them opportunities. DJ Johnson, we're going to see. Was Ajira one of them? They traded up for him. We're going to see. Is he the guy that you think? We're going to see. He had a year to develop. We're going to see. Mingo's starting now. He's getting more opportunity. He stepped up. Bryce Young looks like he's going to have a bounce back year. We see. Chandler Zavala is second left guard. We drafted him last year. They're putting him in a starting position over Brady Christensen. They're giving last year's class opportunities for the most part. We're going to find out a lot about these guys. We going to see. I'm telling you. We going to see. And like I said, I am 1,000%. I'm 1,000% for being wrong. I mean, I'm right a lot. I'm right a lot of times. Not to toot my own horn. I'm correct a lot of the time. But I'm very open to being wrong. If DJ Johnson can prove me wrong and be that guy that they're claiming that he is, I will, y'all know me. I will be here on the same microphone, on the same channel. I'll apologize. The apology will be as loud as the disrespect. The apologies will be as loud as the disrespect was. Because I don't see it with DJ Johnson, but we're going to see. I don't agree with him starting, but we had no other options. I didn't agree with trading away Brian Burns and not getting that much back and not addressing it in the draft. But we're going to see. We're going to see. We going to see. But look, he just needs, like I said, he just needs to have a good motor. I'm not expecting him to have this great pass rush bag. I just don't see it happening with him. He doesn't seem like that type of player. But you can get sacks just from playing hard. He did it in college. That's how he got sacks in college. He didn't really do anything. He just ran down quarterbacks. He didn't have any moves. He was just strong and ran down quarterbacks. Do it. Do it again. So I'm open to being wrong. I want to see what he got in preseason, man. Shout out to my guy Game Dreamer 58 on the super chat. He said, make us a believer, DJ. Make us a believer. Make us a believer. Yeah, they're definitely banking on the scheme. They're like getting rid of Brian Burns lets me know that you're big on scheme over players. Notice how we brought in a lot of Ajiro guys. Scheme over players. So DJ Johnson been balling this training camp. Must be not paying attention. He's been having a solid camp. A couple times he's been unblocked, but he hasn't really just been in the pass rush game. He hasn't really been hooping like that. He really hasn't. In the pass rush game, he hasn't been hooping like that. But we gonna see. Okay. And last but not least, speaking of the draft class, look at this name right here. Look at his name. Look at their name. Who y'all see? Who is that? Jamie Robinson. Jamie Robinson, man. This is interesting, man. They got him at nickel, which is fine. He's not a pure safety. He was going to be like a quote-unquote big nickel. You know what I'm saying? He was going to be a big nickel regardless. But he the third, bro. He's the third. He's the third, man. Shaw Smith-Wade, who we drafted this year, well, he was a 5th-round pick too. Our current 5th is ahead of last year's 5th. And granted, like I said, they have different games. And different draft classes. But Jamie Robinson, man, he's been. I mean, he knocked somebody block off today in practice. I ain't gonna lie. It was a good hit, but you don't want to hit your teammates like that. But he's been having some struggles at times. He got trucked by Miles Sanders. We talked about it before. He's on the bubble. He's on the bubble. So it's not good, man. Because the thing about Jamie's game is he plays that, and I hate to crown him with a guy that is whatever, because I know people don't nuance is non-existent on the internet. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, Jamie Robinson has like a honey badger style of game, you know? He's that undersized safety that likes to play the run. It needs to play in space, can cover a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Likes to be around the ball. But he's not as big as the honey badger. He's small. He's pretty small. He's not as fast as the honey badger. He doesn't have the nose for the ball like the honey badger. And on this level, I don't think he has the athleticism to be able to play like the honey badger. So I don't know, man. Like I said, we gonna see. He on the bubble, though. It may be time for bro to spend some time in Birmingham. It may be time for him to make that trip to Birmingham. It may be time for bro to spend some time in Birmingham. For real. And when I say spend some time in Birmingham, when I say it about anybody, it's not just particular to him. That's my new expression for somebody they may need to go to the UFL. They may need to spend some time in the UFL. to develop before they come back up to the big leagues. It may be time for Birmingham, because Birmingham, shout out to the Birmingham Stallions in the UFL. Shout out to my UFL fans out there. But when I say somebody needs to spend some time in Birmingham, they may need to spend some time, you know what I'm saying, with Matt Corral and them. You see Matt Corral in the UFL. So it may be time for a brother to spend some time in Birmingham. That's all I'm saying. But very, 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 very concerning. But also, Lamar Jackson being over Deshaun Jameson is crazy. Like I said, I haven't seen it every day, but oof. Lamar Jackson is on every wide receiver's highlight. Every wide receiver on our team, Lamar Jackson is on their highlight. But like I said, I haven't been there every day like I usually am, so I don't know. I'm just saying. We're going to see. But let's move on. Let's move on to Bryce Young. Bryce Young will not be playing in preseason. Bryce Young, it's been announced by Dave Canales that Bryce Young will not be playing in preseason. Now, like I said, a lot of fans have some feelings. And Dave Canales even floated the option that Bryce Young may not play all of preseason at all. And a lot of fans are pissed off. They're like, Bryce needs the reps. Patrick Mahomes is playing the preseason. Why wouldn't Bryce do it? Who do they think he is? Bryce needs to go out there no matter what. We need to see Bryce. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. It's very interesting. Josh Norris in the chat. What's up, brother? What's up, man? Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you stopping by. Shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Their channel is doing big things. They just got Bill Belichick for the channel. That's crazy. One of the, I guess the GOAT. You can call him the GOAT. They just got Bill Belichick. They're putting out crazy content on Underdog. Shout out to Underdog, man. Shout out to Underdog. But Bryce Young not playing in preseason, I got to push back, man. And if you heard my last live stream, I wanted Bryce to play. I'm like, look, the whole offense needs reps. I want to see at least a quarter, which is probably 2 to 3 drives at the most. But, like, I'm open to doing whatever's best. Look at the circumstances. Andy Dalton is injured. Andy Dalton has a quad injury. It's going to be a couple weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. So that could push Andy Dalton all the way up to week 1. We don't know if he'll be ready for week 1. I feel very confident Andy Dalton as a capable backup whenever we need him to. We saw him play last year, played pretty solid for a backup. I'm confident in that. But Andy Dalton is actually hurt now. He's hurt. So as bad as Bryce Young needs preseason reps, he needs regular season reps too. So if Bryce Young gets hurt, he's not going to get those regular season reps. It doesn't matter what he does in preseason if he gets hurt. So you have to be cautious. You have to be cautious. And if you're superstitious, like me sometimes, you know, you got your rabbit's foot, you don't split poles. If somebody steps on your left heel, you pat your shoulder 3 times. If you're like me, you don't step on cracks, you don't want to play Bryce anyway going to New England. Matt Corral, out for the year, playing in New England. Cam Newton, out for the year, playing in New England in preseason. If you are superstitious, you would avoid this first game anyway. If you're superstitious. You would avoid it anyway. Because, Lord forbid he gets hurt in a game that's meaningless. Lord forbid he gets hurt in a meaningless game. You guys really want to roll out Jack Plummer? And no offense to Jack Plummer. No offense to Jack Plummer. Shout out to his dad, Jake Plummer. Jake the Snake, NFL legend, Denver legend. He's an undrafted free agent. The last time we saw Jack Plummer play football was what? I mean, did he play in a bowl game? I know he played against Florida State. The last time I saw Jake Plummer play was against Florida State in the ACC championship. It was not pretty. It wasn't pretty. It was at BOA, but it wasn't pretty. Look, every undrafted free agent ain't going to be Brock Purdy. Jack Plummer ain't going to be Brock Purdy. So having Jack Plummer, an undrafted free agent, as a starting quarterback going to New Orleans in week 1 sounds asinine. I'm sorry. And then our O-line has not been great so far. They're not related? Okay. The O-line hasn't been great. Newsflash. We spent a lot of money, but they haven't been great. Not yet. They need some time. Damian Lewis is hurt. Taylor Moton has taken 4 vet days out of the 9 days of training camp. Austin Corbett took a vet day. We haven't had the full group together. They still missing assignments, picking up blitzes. They got free runners. People are coming scot-free unblocked because the communication isn't there yet. I wish it was, but it's not there yet. They have not had a great start to camp. They haven't. So until they get the communication straight, I don't mind having, like, because look, if we had Dandy Dalton and we had a viable backup with answers, I would be fine. If we had a viable backup option behind Bryce, I would be fine. But we don't have if Andy Dalton was healthy, I would be fine with it. But we don't have Andy. So if Bryce gets hurt, it's over anyway. We're talking about missing 1 preseason game when we have preseason practice. Training camp practice. We have joint practice with the Jets. We have another game next week with the Jets. And then another game. Bryce played in all 3 preseason games last year. Y'all remember what happened? He got hit on the first play of preseason against the Jets. He got hit every game because of miscommunications. Remember the first play of preseason against the Jets? Bryce got his clock cleaned. Icky got beat. The Giants. Icky heard the wrong call. 2 protection calls sounded the same. So somebody came unblocked. Cleaned his clock. The Lions game, he was getting hit too. Running for his life. So similar issues now, miscommunications, guys coming free, guys going unblocked. That play I showed y'all with Deontay down the sideline, 2 linebackers came up the middle unblocked. Today, we saw Derek Brown and Ashawn Robinson coming unblocked off of play action. And I know y'all have certain disdain and feelings for Bryce that y'all demanding to see him. Y'all, he needs it. He needs the reps. He has to play. I don't care if he's going to get hurt. I don't care if Bryce gets hurt. We need to see him. Bryce needs to prove to me this. Bryce needs to prove to me that. Bruh. If he gets hurt, the season's over anyway because Dalton's not ready right now. And it's a waste. I'd rather have a healthy Bryce for week 1. People are saying he could get hurt in week 1. Why does it matter? Well, the game actually matters. If he gets hurt in a game that actually counts on our record, I'm fine with that. I can live with that. I'll be sad, but I can live with that. Bryce being hurt in a preseason game just because the fans in the comments are whining about Bryce Young not playing. And he's out for whatever, knock on wood. That's malpractice as a coach. There's 2 other preseason games left. Not to mention, the O-line going to have to get their stuff together because the Jets coming to town next week. We have the Jets again. We got the Jets again. We know how we went. So they have a great front four. They are going to test us. They're going to test them. And I saw somebody say that Bryce got sacked 62 times last year. Why are you scared about him getting hit? Do you know why Bryce Young only missed 1 game last year, even though he got sacked 62 times? You want to know a secret? You want to know a secret about why Bryce, like the crazy reason why Bryce at 100 whatever pounds or 200 pounds? You know why? He was able to make it the full year for the most part. He got lucky. It was the grace of God. If you believe in God, it was the grace of God or luck. It was. It was. It was, bro. Because this dude is not big. He's not gonna grow. He's not gonna grow. I'm sorry, he's not gonna grow. So unnecessary hits when your offensive line isn't there yet and you don't have a backup option, it doesn't make sense. Nobody's saying it's bright. Nobody's saying Bryce don't need the reps. I've said it before on this channel that Bryce needs the reps. And this is true. I think this is partially true. Said, shout out to the super chat for Double O Kane too. He said, I really feel like a portion of the fan base was like hating on BY so much last year. They're ready for him to play to start their campaign again. I had to partially agree, bro. What is him missing 1 game? We don't even know if he's going to miss the whole preseason. What is him missing 1 game going to do? What is it? What is it going to do? Because if he came out and played good, y'all wouldn't give him credit anyway. Y'all would say it's just preseason. Y'all wouldn't give him credit anyway. They wouldn't give him credit. I'm just not willing to risk putting him in there and playing Jack Plummer. So if y'all seriously are comfortable with Jack Plummer being quarterback 1 for week 1, there's really nothing else to discuss because we're just on 2 different pages. Because I'm thinking about the worst case scenario, unfortunately, without having Andy Dalton. So if y'all are comfortable with Jack Plummer as quarterback 1 for against the Saints in New Orleans, okay, fine. We have nothing else to discuss. I'm not going to convince you. I'm not going to be able to convince you. You know what I'm saying? So it's really not a ton to discuss. It's really not a ton to discuss. If you comfortable with Jack Plummer being the week 1 starter, it's a different conversation. They never gave a reason why they wanted to. You, my boy Blue. They didn't want to. They didn't really give a reason. But I have to think that the lack of depth with Andy Dalton being hurt plays a factor, because they're not going to bring in Cam Newton if Bryce Young gets hurt in a preseason game and we don't have Dalton. They're not going to bring in Cam Newton. Yeah, I mean, there's no winning. Like I said, it's not a discussion. It's not a discussion to be had. But without a backup quarterback, because like, why do you think why do you think you sign a good backup quarterback? You sign a good backup quarterback just in case something happens. Because if there was no fear of getting hurt, you wouldn't have a good backup quarterback. You wouldn't care who's your backup quarterback. That's what I'm saying. If the fear is of getting hurt, whatever, you wouldn't worry about a backup quarterback. Is Jack playing the whole game? I think it'll be Jake Ludon, and I think they signed another quarterback. I can't remember. I think they signed another quarterback. Shout out to my guy Low in the pregame podcast. Appreciate you stopping in, bro. Yeah, good seeing you last week, bro. I'm back in town. I'm back in town next week. Well, this weekend for practice. Where's Matt Corral? Matt Corral is enjoying life, probably. But let's talk about Jack Plummer. Because Jack Plummer, undrafted free agent, out of Louisville. He's had a he's had a camp you would expect from undrafted free agent. He's made some long throws down the field at times. He's gotten a lot of reps because Andy Dalton's been out the past few days. But I just don't feel comfortable with Jack Plummer. Jack Plummer being the week 1 starter. I'm sorry. I don't feel like that's an illogical take. Or rational, excuse me. I don't feel like that's an irrational take. I don't. They said, shout out to my guy Double OK and another super chat. Appreciate it. Say Bryce could go 17-1 and losing the divisional round, and some of our fans would say, "Man, we need Shedeur Sanders." Bro, look, and I admit, like I said, I like being wrong, and I said I like being wrong. I have no issue with being wrong. But when people have certain feelings or hate or narratives about people, they're not coming off of it. They're not. Lamar Jackson is a 2-time MVP, bro. One of the best quarterbacks in the game. Top 5 in my opinion. But what is the knock on Lamar? He doesn't play good in the playoffs. But the guys y'all try to prop him up against don't make the playoffs. They don't. They don't have the MVPs he has to get to the playoffs for the regular season performances. And they don't get the opportunity to even lose in the playoffs. But I don't like Lamar Jackson because he's not good in the playoffs. Playoffs. If you got to the playoffs, that means you had an opportunity to compete for a Super Bowl. You had an opportunity to go. You played well enough during the regular season that you have a chance in the playoffs to get to a Super Bowl. I just can't trust. Lamar's playoff performances, they just aren't good. I just can't. I don't get it. He's not a great quarterback to me. His playoff performances aren't good. When you critiquing guys' playoff performances, when they have 2 MVPs, they're always going to find something, bro. It doesn't matter who it is. If people don't like them and there's a narrative, they're going to push that narrative and spin things no matter what. It ain't exclusive to Bryce. It's to any quarterback they don't like. It's to any quarterback they don't like. They're gonna always do that. That's just the way it is. It's nasty. It's nasty. If Jack balls out, I think it'd be drama. No. No. What about our pass rush? We need help. This is what I'm talking about. They gonna spend anything, bro. He said, "Are we really comparing Bryce to Lamar?" You are. I'm not comparing Bryce to Lamar. You compare Bryce to Lamar. I did not compare Bryce to Lamar. I did not compare Bryce to Lamar. You compare Bryce to Lamar. I said any quarterback. I said any quarterback they want to spin a narrative on, they will spin a narrative on it. It doesn't matter what you do. They will spin a narrative. I just use Lamar as an example. They're going to spin a narrative on anybody because Lamar is great. Lamar is great. But they're going to spin a narrative on him, on anybody. But it is what it is. Twan was good, bro. Michael Rayner, what up, though? So you never heard about Josh Allen and Trevor. Sam Darnold starting over McCarthy. That's a whole other story. We're not talking about the Vikings. But speaking of Bryce Young, Bryce Young had a good practice today. He was throwing a lot of dots. I'm excited about the momentum. Maybe they felt good enough about Bryce today that they're good for holding him off for one more week, at least. But we going to see. Because we played Bryce in every preseason game last year. Didn't help carry things over to week 1. Missing the first one. We'll see how it happens. How's the defense looking? The defense is looking good, man. Surprisingly, they're overachieving. And that's what makes me concerned about the offense. That's what made me concerned about the offense. Because I did not expect the defense to be that good. And so them hooping on our offense, I'm shocked. The secondary is about what we expected. Dane Jackson has made some plays early, but he's been tested. He's been tested, to say the least. But it's going to be on the Giro to scheme things up. It's going to be on the Giro to scheme things up. They've been working on blitzes recently, and it's been giving our offensive line fits. It's been giving our offensive line fits. Guys have been scheming up and being unblocked. Free runs at Bryce Young. We've seen some deep pass breakups from Xavier Woods. Nick Scott has been balling. Josie Jewell had a pick on Bryce today. Like I said, we saw Derek Brown. Derek Brown is just as dominant as ever. Just as dominant as ever. I'm excited for Derek. But somebody said it. Yeah, we should still try to find some edge rushers. We're going to talk about Stearns, the new signing, a little bit later. It's probably next, actually. I'll talk about Stearns, our new safety, next. I'll talk about him next. But that's the question. And Clorox asked it, and a couple people asked it, like, what does that mean? Does that mean, like, is it good offense? I mean, is it bad offense, good defense? Is it bad defense, good offense? Is it everybody sucks? So it's just not iron sharpening iron. It's like porcelain rubbing against porcelain, like toilet. Like, what is it? And we gonna see. Until we go against like the Jets, or we play in the preseason on Thursday, we don't know. And the starters may not even play in preseason, the first one. So we gonna see. We gonna see. We gonna see. But there's like we need some help in some places. We need some corner help. We definitely need edge help. Like we've been losing edge rushers like crazy. Edge rushers and tight ends have been getting hurt like crazy in training camp. So if anybody comes available on the waivers, we need to do that. Because remember, the Carolina Panthers have the first priority, is what you'll call it, priority in the waiver wire. Because we were the worst team in the league last year, it's like the draft. The waiver order is the draft order. And remember how the waiver wire works. The waiver wire is not like your fantasy league. Once you use it, you can keep going. It's not like a draft pick. If I play for the 49ers and I get cut, or I get waived, and I get waived tomorrow, every team in the league can claim me on waivers. They can say yes or no. When they claim me on waivers, they pick up whatever contract I had with my old team. So I was with the 49ers on a contract. Whoever claims me on waivers will take on my contract, and I'll go to the team. And it goes in the draft order. So the Panthers, who even though we traded away our first round draft pick, we had the first overall pick. We had the first overall pick. So we have the first claim. So anybody that gets waived, we have the first, I guess they call it right to refusal. So if somebody comes up, we can say yes or no on them. If we want to pick them up and claim their contract and bring them to the team, we can say yes. Nobody else can do it in front of us. We get first dibs on anybody that gets waived. Like I said, some people get released and cut, and they're automatically free agents. But if they get waived, that means they go to the waiver. They go through waivers. And so the Panthers can say yes or no before anybody else. There's some technicalities and some rules in terms of how many years in the league you are. I think the number is 4. If you're 4 years or less, you go through waivers. Anything above that, you just get cut and you become a free agent automatically. If nobody claims you on waivers, then you're a free agent. You can pick where you want to. But if you get claimed on waivers, you don't get a choice. Whoever claims you, you come to that team. So the Panthers, being that they are the first choice, if some good players get waived, they have the first opportunity. And the first thing they did is a guy named Caden Stearns, who is a safety for the Denver Broncos, who was a mid-round draft pick in 2001. They claimed him on waivers. So they look, other teams might have wanted to pick Caden Stearns up. They might have wanted to. But the Panthers had first dibs, and the fact that he played solid under Ejiro Evero, they claimed him on waivers. Do we need safeties? Not really. Not really. But we need talent. We need talent. You know what I'm saying? So, like, anybody that is available that can help improve our roster in some way, we need depth. We need talent. Like, look, it is what it is. But the thing is, and this is a good question. Not a good question, but it just I think it's a point of confusion for a lot of people. And I'm not trying to put you on blast, J47, but it doesn't you don't run out of waiver claims. You don't run out of it. The next person that gets cut or waived, we get first dibs again. It's going to be like this until like what? Week 4, I think, is when the waiver claims kind of readjust based on record. But until about week 4, we have first dibs. So it doesn't run out. It's not like, oh, you get your one time and then you're done. No, we're back in it. Every time a new person gets waived, it starts back over in the order. So who's a good player? God forbid it's not going to happen, but God forbid Jamar Chase. Yeah, no biggie, J47. Like I said, a lot of people think it's like fantasy, but it's not. God forbid Jamar Chase gets waived. Let's say Jamar Chase gets waived for whatever reason. That would never happen, but let's say, because he has less than 4 years of experience. If Jamar Chase got waived tomorrow, we have first dibs to claim him on waivers. Nobody else can claim him before us. The only reason he would go to another team if he's on waivers is we said no. So if you see somebody get claimed on waivers that you think is good and we didn't get them, it's because we said no. And Underground West said we got to eat off waivers 1,000%. Yeah, if Jamar Chase gets waived, it's gonna be some sad singing and flower bringing for a couple of receivers on our roster. We making room. But I'm just saying that's how it works. Like, because there's no team in the NFL who would not want Jamar Chase if he was available. But if he gets waived, the Panthers have first dibs, no matter what. Nobody can jump us. The only way somebody can jump us is if we say no on waivers. But if we claim him, he has to come to us whether he likes it or not. It's not like a free agency where we have to sign him. You don't have to sign them like that. You just pick up their contract. You don't have to agree to a contract. You pick them up automatically. So waiver can be advantageous for us. And I put it out on Twitter. I think John Mechie, the wide receiver for the Houston Texans, John Mechie, who is a former teammate of Bryce Young, has a lot of speed, slow start to his career because he had some health stuff. And not even he did. I think he hurt his leg, but I forgot what he had, was it a blood issue or something like that? But if he, I'm their receiver room is crowded. They got Xavier Hutchinson has been stepping up. He had a great game in the Hall of Fame game. You know they got Diggs. You know they got Nico Collins. Tank Dell is back. They traded for Skowronek from the Rams. They got Noah Brown. What's the other veteran receiver? I can't remember his name. I can't remember his name. Dang, what's the dude's name? Robert Woods. They got Robert Woods. They got a lot of receivers. I can see Mechie really hasn't caught on for not having to get up any trade compensation. A mid-round, I mean, what was it? Mechie a second-round pick? You don't have to give up much. You don't have to pay him much. He may get cut. They may try to trade him because I think teams around the league know that if Mechie gets cut, he may be a Panther because the Bryce Young connection, we need speed. So if somebody really wants Mechie, they may try to trade for him so they don't give us a chance to get him. That's my only fear. That's my only fear. You know what I'm saying? So waiver is going to be a big advantage for us. I'm gonna probably after this week, I'll make a video about potential players that we can sign on the waiver wire. Like I'm gonna look at Big Walk said it. There's some teams, leukemia. That's what it was. I didn't want to speak to. I knew something to do with his body. I knew it wasn't like a football injury. Leukemia. I forgot about that. Good call. He had a form of leukemia. So it wasn't like anything like on the field. But it's low risk waivers. It's not, you're not trading up any draft capital. You get to claim anybody on waivers you want, no matter what. It's unlimited. Just Mechie has speed. You say you don't think Mechie beats out our top 5 wide receivers? I'm willing to find out. I'm willing to find out. He's got, like I said, he's got chemistry with Bryce from college. We don't have a ton of long speed down the field. If he gets cut or waived, I'm willing to find out. But Big Walt TD said the Eagles have a lot of corners. It's a good point. Like other teams, I'm gonna look around the league and say, like, look at who are some opportunity guys that could get cut that we could pick up. Eli Ricks has playing experience. Alabama DB, I think was undrafted. They're trying to make room because look, they had so many corners. They picked up who? What is the guy's name? Was it Mitchell they picked up? Mitchell, and then what's the other guy? The Caucasian defensive back that got drafted this year. My mind just went blank so bad. I pay attention in the draft, but once they get drafted, I just forget about them. They drafted 2 corners very, very high. They had Eli Ricks. They got Darius Slay. They had to move James Bradbury to safety just to make room in their cornerback room. They have a crowded cornerback room. So one of these young guys could get waived. Ricks would be a phenomenal pickup. Starting experience in significant football games for a great team. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to find out. I'm willing to find out. Cooper. Appreciate it. Cooper DeJean. Yeah, Cooper DeJean. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it's locked in. Appreciate the idea from y'all. I like this in real time. This real time brainstorming. Yeah. And honestly, the Leggett trade up and then like the Brooks trade, I think we could have got like a mid-round corner, like a Cam Hart, who I was big on. Or there's a lot of guys in like the 3rd or 4th round range that I think trading up had us miss out on, but it'll work out. Hopefully we'll find somebody. Yeah, it was Dejon. But like I said, the waiver wire can be very advantageous for us. I hope I provided some clarity on it. If you guys don't understand, let me know. I can try to explain a little bit more. But it's unlimited. So anybody that gets waived, we get first dibs. We get first dibs. And I always talk about volunteers and hostages. We're not that great of a football team. Newsflash. We're not that great of a football team. People may not willingly come over to us. Not without like a Najiro connection or maybe a Canales connection. We don't know. Without spending money, because we don't have a ton of money. So claiming people on waivers is a good way to take hostages. And I say hostages not to be like crazy, but like they don't have a choice. So they can either come to us, get paid, or we'll trade them away or something. Like Jamar Chase, if he got waived, he may not want to be a Panther, but he got to come. If he wants to get that contract money, he got to show up. And if he shows up, he going to have to play. So we can take volunteers or hostages. We're not going to get too many volunteers without having a bunch of money to spend, which we don't have. So let's take some hostages. We can either trade for them and give up draft capital, or we can claim them on waivers. So let's take them. Let's do what we got to do. Because if a corner gets cut, an edge rusher gets cut, shoot, really any position. We signed a safety today. Safety is probably our deepest position on the roster. But we're still adding talent at safety because Ejiro wants to. You know, we got the big joker for the waivers. He said we got a black card. Yeah, we got the big joker on waiver wire. So let's take advantage. Volunteers or hostages. Look, like I said, we look, Jason, we are trash. So we got to do what we got to do. Volunteers or hostages. Volunteers or hostages. We ain't getting too many volunteers without overpaying. So the best bet is to bring them in. Hopefully your culture and your coaches are strong enough to get them going. Look, Deontay Johnson is a hostage. Deontay Johnson is an example of a hostage. I'm sure they talked to him a little bit. Deontay Johnson, he probably would rather go to, I think, the Chiefs. The Chiefs wanted to trade for Deontay. But the Steelers were like, nah, we're not trading him to the Kansas City Chiefs. Y'all in the same conference. You know? So they were like, shoot, we send him to Carolina. we banishing you to the shadow realm. Sending Deontay Johnson to the worst team in the league. He didn't have a choice. He had to come here. Things seem to be working out thus far. He said that they had open arms for him. They made him feel welcome. Him and Bryce, he liked the fact that we wanted to make him the number one wide receiver. They've done a good job of convincing Deontay Johnson that this is a good place for him to be. A guy that had attitude, quote unquote, problems. He was a hostage, but when you get them in-house, you have conversations, you can kind of like say, hey, just give us a chance. Because when they're a free agent, when they have a choice, they rather go somewhere else is probably better. But if you get them in as a hostage, you're going to get at least one season or some time at least to convince them like, hey, it's not as bad as it looks. It may not be your first choice, but it's a good choice. You know what I'm saying? And they probably told Deontay, you're going to be the number one wide receiver here. We know that's not the best place to come. You're going to be the number one wide receiver here. We like your route running. Every play, we're going to look at you. We know you in a contract year. We ain't got the money to pay you right now. We just paid big number 95. But next year, when you're a free agent, we got you. We just gave Adam Thielen, 36-year-old Adam Thielen, 1,000-yard season. Adam Thielen was our number one guy with Bryce. He had 100 receptions, 1,000 yards. You What you think you going to do? Getting all them targets and all those targets and receptions. You should do 1,300 yards if you come here and get that Adam Thielen treatment. And then you see what all these receivers are getting paid. You'll earn that money later. Just come here, give us a chance. We know it's not the most ideal, but come on. Come on. So, look, man. Volunteer. I'm telling you, volunteers are hostages, and you just have to convince them. Like, it happens, bro. How do you think it happened with Stephon Gilmore? Stephon Gilmore, I mean, granted, he did have the Defensive Player of the Year, and he had a ring already, but he got traded to Carolina for a 6th-round pick. You think he wanted to leave a Super Bowl contender for Carolina? He didn't want to do that. But by the end of the year, after playing, even despite Matt Rule's ineptitude, he still was open to coming back to Carolina. He was like, man, it ain't that bad being close to home. I haven't been close to home since college, but I like being close to Rock Hill. I like being here with my family coming to the games. I was a Panthers fan when I grew up. It is kind of nice being here in Carolina. It's kind of slow. That's what happens. You take a hostage and hopefully convince him that things can be good. And then they're open to stay around and get a contract extension and stuff like that. This is what you got to do when you're where we are as a team. It sounds harsh, but it is what it is. Double O came with another super chat. Start a Carolina hostage series. That's what's gonna be the players the Panthers should target on the waiver wire. That's gonna be my hostage series because we taking hostages on that waiver wire. I'm sorry, man. Look, y'all. I'm glad y'all understanding what I'm getting at, though. That's just kind of the way we are as a team. It's where we are as a team. But it is what it is. The bed has been made. You got to lay in it. Do what you got to do. Shout out to my boy William Redondo. Said, just sending the keep pounding from Brazil. Great live. Appreciate it, man. Shout out to Brazil. We international, man. All over the world. Shout out to Brazil. Shout out to Germany, too, man. Can't wait to get to Germany this year. Shout out to Germany. Shout out to Brazil. Love my cap. I just got this at Panthers training camp. I never see the all black with the white logo. This is so dope. It's a snapback, but like so dope. I've never seen this on the store online, but this is at the Panthers training camp shop. So dope. Y'all know me. I'm a sucker for a hat. I love this thing. It hurts because it's a new era. You know, the new era, like the draft hats, they hurt. But this hat was so dope. I had to get it. Had to get it at training camp. Exactly. You turn a hostage into a volunteer and a hard worker. Exactly. Yeah, I don't know the deal with Gilmore. I think it's a wrap. We signed Anthony Brown. I think it's a wrap. I think Gilmore has shoulder surgery or something like that. Banished. I mean, look, the Chiefs wanted Deontay. They wanted Deontay. The Chiefs did. And the Steelers said, no, we're not trading you to a contender. They just want to be petty. This is on record. This is not like me just speculating. Ian Rappaport said this. He said the Chiefs were interested, but the Steelers said no. To the no. We're not saying them to y'all. We can't stand y'all. Said we're going to trade him to the worst team in the league, the Carolina Panthers. We banishing you to the shadow realm. Say, hey, chill, Quan. He said he never seen my head without a hat. That's because I work from home, so I don't go to the barbershop as often as I should. I'm going to the barbershop before I head back to training camp next week. Just know. Stockholm Syndrome, right, exactly. Shout out to my guy Digger Jackson on the super chat. He said, help with that Charlotte hotel room. Appreciate it. I'm going to be up there all week, so I'm not missing anything. When Aaron Rodgers come to town, I got to be there. I'm getting clips. I'm there, y'all. I'm there. I'm a family man now because I got a little baby. So I can't be gone away from home at every training camp practice like I used to. But I got my permission slip signed from my baby and my wife. I'm gonna be in Charlotte for every practice for the rest of training camp. See, Deontay got sent to the gulag. Said Bryce could become like Patrick Mahomes, then we in business. Look, and I'm not gonna say anything because I got one more segment to get to. But I talked about it. And I expect if you were on my live stream last week, you know I'm not lying. First of all, if you haven't, please give the video a thumbs up. We got 238 people watching. What the world? 238? 238 people watching, but only 150 likes. Can we get some like? Can we get a thumbs up, please? Them are free. I know some of y'all watching on TV. It ain't easy. Use your Roku remote or your Wii remote, whatever you're using, your Xbox 360 controller, your GameCube, your whatever you're using. Use that to please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out. It really helps me out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Look, Bryce, if you notice every appreciate it, man. Said don't kill it tonight. Appreciate it, man. I'm having fun. It's a good night. Y'all giving me stuff to talk about. I love the feedback. I'm on the roll. When we have a lot of stuff to talk about, man, when it's finally the season, it's easy for me to do this. When we're in the all season and I'm like trying to find whatever headline, who said what about what, to try to find some content to talk about, it's a little bit tough. But now we actually got real stuff to talk about. It's a fun. Michael Rand said, how's that beautiful baby? She's good, man. She'll be 7 months this week. She just started daycare, so I'm sad. We had her at home for a while because I work from home, so we had her at home for a while. But we had to send her off to daycare. Sad times. She talking a lot though, so as soon as she can form sentences, I'm putting her on the podcast. She always yelling, talking, making noise. So as soon as she learns these Panther stuff, this will be her first football season. She was actually born the day after our last game. So it's going to be her first Panthers football season. So whenever she get to take in and see everything, I'm going to have her on the podcast because she talk a lot. She talks a lot. Makai Smith, what up, though, brother? So when you got kids, you got to sign that permission slip. Yeah, man. Appreciate you, Medinian. I think I pronounced it right. Hitting that like button. Yeah, we're like 1,100 for the division. I'm this close to taking it. I am. But I talked about it. And Bryce, notice how all of Bryce's highlights that the team has been posting, most of them have been him getting out of the pocket, scrambling, somebody diving for it. It's been weird, right? It's a good and a bad thing because we talked about the offensive line struggling, but also just watching, it feels like, and like I said last week on the stream before it even came out, it felt like they were leaning into letting Bryce do what he does. Like, let Bryce get outside the pocket. Let Bryce scramble around and create in the scramble drill. And they got those big guards. They got those big guards so they can anchor in the middle so Bryce wouldn't get interior pressure. But they're going to tell Icky and Taylor Moton, do what you got to do. Block for 2.7 seconds. But if they want to take them, if the people want to go around the hoop, push them outside. If they want to go inside, watch them down. Let Bryce get outside the pocket if he needs to and create. That's different than Frank Wright. It's a little bit different than Frank Wright. You know what I'm saying? But who does Dave Canales have background with? Russell Wilson. But also, like, seeing that, it reminds me of, like, it kind of reminds me of the style like the Chiefs do. Patrick Mahomes, he gets out of the pocket. They let Patrick Mahomes do what he does. The magic happens when Mahomes gets out of the pocket. The magic used to happen when Russell Wilson got out of the pocket. The magic happens when they escape and get out of the pocket. And like I said, what did Cam Newton say when they asked Cam about, hey Cam, you got hurt. Are you going to stop running as much? And Cam's like, do you not expect a lion to roar? Remember, like, do you not expect a lion to do what he does? Do you not expect Cam Newton not to do what he does? Like, not letting Cam Newton run takes away from who Cam Newton is. Cam Newton's not going to be Cam Newton if you don't let him throw. So you got to let these guys be who they are. So don't get Bryce Young just to try to sit him in a pocket and make him strictly a pocket passer. And let's be real, Bryce is short. He can see way better outside of the pocket than from the pocket. I don't think he has he doesn't have a ton of trouble seeing through the passing lanes. He could play from the pocket, I guess, but he's still short. I'm sure there's some limitations on his vision. It's not a hindrance, but I'm sure there's some limitations on his vision. But why would you keep him in the pocket? Let Bryce do what he does. And I love that they're feeding into it. And like I said, I had that hunch last week on the stream when I was in the hotel. But Dave Canales and Bryce Young said that. They talked about the off-schedule stuff. So if it comes up, let them do it. Let them cook. Literally let them cook. That's what it comes down to. All right, last segment. We're going to talk about the preseason players to watch. I got to get through this real quick because I'm on borrowed time and I'm hungry. I got some barbecue. I got a chicken quarter with some collard greens and some baked beans downstairs. My wife ordered Jim and Nick's. If you're familiar with Jim and Nick's game, you already know what time it is. Them cornbread biscuits, I can taste it already. Okay. So, Dave Canales, he went on the Up and Adams, Kay Adams show. Shout out to Kay Adams. But I love the type of questions that she asks these guys, and she makes these people real comfortable. She has some phenomenal interviews, bro. She did 4 interviews. And they were good. They were all good. Dave Canales was the best. But she asked Dave Canales, like I said, the Panthers play on Thursday. Whose name is going to be trending? And I got a clip. She said, whose name is going to be trending Friday after the Panthers game? This is what happened.
Out whose name will be trending on this Panthers team.
Yeah, so for sure we're going to run the ball, a bunch. So I'd love to see our running backs kind of emerge. One of the guys that's been exciting to watch this camp is Raheem Blackshear. He's been fantastic on the kickoff returns with the new rule and all that. He just seems to have a feel for how to set those things up. So looking for great things from him. Looking for some pass rush opportunities. DJ Johnson, this is a big year for him, being able to take the next step in his career. So really trying to, see what he can bring to us. Kaylavon Chason came to us from Jacksonville. first round pick all those years ago. This is a guy who's got a hunger to him right now. He's got a focus and a look to him. So really looking to see what he can do. And then we have a fantastic corner battle just going on, with Deshaun Jameson, DiCaprio Boodle in that mix, Lamar Jackson. These are guys. We just signed Anthony Brown. So this is a group of guys that we're really evaluating to see who can help us long term. Offensive line wise, Chandler Zavala is a guy that I really want to see just continue to take strides. He's shown power. He's shown like he's growing in terms of his understanding of the ball. And so really, I think those are some of the top guys that I want to talk about. Just really, really excited to see what they can bring to us.
Dave Canales ain't shy, bro. He named guys by name. The first one, Raheem Blackshear. I'm not gonna comment on Kay. I love Kay Adams. I love what she does. I love her. I love FanDuel TV. I love the podcast. I love the show actually. I like if I could have a daily show, like she does what I would love to do. Like you don't really have to give a lot of analysis. You just cool with everybody. Everybody mess with you. You travel, go to camps, and just make shows and have a show. Like that would be my ideal like dream job to take unnecessary bluntness that way. I would love to be able to do what she does. Granted, I don't look like how she does, clearly. I'm not that I'm not that easy on the eyes per se. And I'm not in the media business completely. But ideally that would be the format of my type of show. Regardless, Raheem Blackshear, bro. He named Blackshear. Yeah, Luke was sweating like crazy. Luke was sweating like a pig, bro. Yeah, I don't think she's losing weight. I think that's just how she is. I mean, but the people are just not used to seeing her outside of the studio from like neck up. But Dave Canales said Raheem Blackshear. Raheem Blackshear, RB3 currently on the hey, chill, man. To my way thicker there. Chill, bro. Chill. Pause. But Blackshear, RB3 currently. And Blackshear, this is his third year, fourth year. Blackshear, he is like one of the like most productive preseason running backs ever. I think he scored once or twice last year with the Bills. He had the reason why we got him is because he had a great preseason with the Bills, and they had too many running backs, so they cut him. I mean, I think we traded for Raheem Blackshear, if I'm not mistaken. When he gets an opportunity in the games, he always balls out, but they never he has a great preseason. He's good on kick return. They just never give him the ball when it matters. So Blackshear is shaping up for another great preseason. I fully expect Blackshear to have a good preseason. And hopefully he doesn't get treated like a stepchild during the regular season. Because shoot, what was that? That was the Bucs game. He scored a touchdown in the Bucs game. It got called back because Terrence Marshall Jr. didn't line up on sides. We probably could have beat the Bucs if Chark didn't fumble out the end zone and then Blackshear's touchdown didn't get called back. That's 2 touchdowns called back. But Blackshear, man, and he talked about him in a return game. Even though the rules changed, Blackshear is still that guy. So Blackshear, I'm excited for him. He talked about DJ Johnson, and we talked about DJ Johnson too. He said it's a big year for him. It is a big year. I'm going to be paying attention myself. I want to see pressure. I want to see pressure from DJ Johnson. That's literally all I want to see from preseason. Look like you belong. Look like you belong. Don't look like we reach for you. Look like what they're telling us about you stepping up are going to surprise some people. Look like you belong in this league. Don't have me coming on here telling people it's time for you to spend time in Birmingham. Step up, DJ. I'm willing. Like I said, I'm fully open to being surprised on a DJ Johnson performance and a turnaround. My expectations are low, but I will be fully open to being wrong. I would love progress. I would love improvement from DJ Johnson. You know what I'm saying? I'm good with it. He mentioned the cornerback room. He mentioned everybody in the cornerback room. All of them. Lamar, Boodle, Jameson. I'm excited to see them compete. I don't expect J.C. Horn to play. He better not play. He better not play. So the backups are going to get an opportunity. Who's going to step up? Who can we count on? If JC does go down during the season, who can we count on to be a starter? We'll see. The Bo Sox, what up, though? It's been a minute since you able to catch a live, man. Welcome. But he also said Chandler Zavala. And we talked about it. Like Brady Christensen was a starting left guard last year. They switched him to right guard, and now he's a backup. With Damian Lewis out, they had an opportunity to put Brady Christensen back at left guard like last year. But they wanted to get bigger inside so they can anchor and keep a pocket in front of Bryce. I guess they would prefer for Chandler Zavala to develop and be that guy because he's bigger. He's bigger. And he has that capability to anchor probably just by the fact that he has more mass than Brady. I think Brady is a better player, but clearly they want Chandler Zavala to work out ideally because of that size. That's the only reason I can see Zavala being listed as the first left guard off the bench instead of a guy like Brady Christensen who has experience playing left guard. Just a little. He got hurt last year. But we gonna see. We gonna see. He hasn't had a great training camp. But I think they want to give him every opportunity to try to progress and succeed. We'll see what he does in the game because he's going to play. He's going to play in preseason. And I'm telling you right now, you're not going to get it anywhere else. I will be doing some film breakdowns of preseason. I will be doing like all 22. I have a plug on all 22 for preseason. But we're going to see. I'll have the film. But we're going to see. Yes, Zavala got manhandled. PFF had him rated as the worst guard they've ever graded. But one guy that didn't get talked about that I'm going to be watching for is our rookie, Jatavian Sanders. Jatavian Sanders has had a good recent few days of training camp. Jatavian Sanders, with obviously Brooks being hurt and and Leggett being currently hurt and kind of coming on slow, there's opportunity for Jatavian Sanders to be the best, to have the biggest impact of any of our rookies this year. Trevin Wallace could get some PT, of course, with Shaq. So he's a guy that I'm watching as well. But Jatavian Sanders, our fourth round pick 101, has been making some plays. He's flashed. He's not great in pass blocking. I ain't gonna lie, he's not great at all. He has no interest in blocking. He's gonna have to get that together. In run blocking, he ain't got it either. But Jatavian Sanders has an opportunity to probably have the biggest impact of any of the rookies on our roster. He's athletic. He has big, great hands. We have plenty of blocking tight ends on our team. They're not healthy right now, but I like Sanders. And with Ian Thomas probably going to start the season injured, Tommy Tremble just now coming back, if Sanders is going to be on track to be tight end 2 at worst. Tight end 2 at worst for Jatavian Sanders. I'm excited. So yeah, why are you getting so many ads? That's YouTube. YouTube does ads now in live streams. But Jatavian Sanders, I said it. I said he could be our biggest value pick. Some people had him as a second round pick. Him falling to the 4th was because he didn't test well. But he has a clear path to get on the field early in a position that we need help in. He's talented. Jatavian Sanders could be, he could have the biggest impact of any rookie on our team just based off of circumstances. He could. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited about Sanders. But I'm also excited about Wallace. Wallace is probably going to start because Shaq is not playing. Shaq's not playing, and I expect Wallace to get a lot of PT. Now, Dave Canales has had some comments saying that you see the speed, the size. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that Wallace, he just needs to be able to see what he needs to see first and get there. When he's thinking too much and not diagnosing, he's slow. But he has so much speed when he sees it correctly and knows what he's seeing, he can play ball. And I said that when we drafted him. He's raw. And a lot of linebackers are like that in the NFL. The games on the college game and the NFL game is so different that it takes them getting reps. They have to get reps to be able to recognize and diagnose stuff. That way, you're not thinking. Because when you're thinking, you know what I'm saying, you play a little bit slow. One of my old coaches used to say, don't be a robot, be a football player. Like when you're in zone, like you drop back in the zone, but like if you see a guy coming, like guard grass. Guard the guy that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like don't be a football player and just be so locked in on your assignment that your instincts don't take over and you're out there just thinking too much because I got to do my job. I got to do my job. I got to do my job. Obviously you need to do your job, but like don't be a robot, be a football player. So once you start recognizing stuff, start diagnosing stuff, can get to the ball fast, you don't hesitate, and your skills and athleticism take over, and that speed that Wallace has and that hard-hitting ability, you know what I'm saying, takes over, you go. Everybody's not going to be as instinctual or smart as Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly was, his brilliance was because of that. Everybody ain't going to be to that level, period, but definitely not off the jump. So it takes some time to see some reps. So the more reps Wallace gets, we expect him to get better. And that'll be it. He has the tools. You just draft the tools and you learn. And like, yeah, Jason said it, you get that muscle memory. Once your instincts take over, you don't think, you just be a football player. So Wallace getting reps will be good. And we've drafted the traits guys before. Remember Brandon Smith? We drafted Brandon Smith. Similar thing. Hard hitter, big, fast. But diagnosing stuff, getting to the ball, figuring out running plays, being slow. Because if you don't diagnose the play correctly, a half a step is everything in the NFL. Half a step, you're out of position. Half a step, a ball is going right behind the zone that you left. Like, you have to be able to be instinctual and play fast. Knowing what you're doing and knowing what's coming is going to allow you to play fast. You know? So, I'm excited about Wallace. Yeah. Shaq. Yeah. Shaq is like the most disrespected Panther ever. He's an upper tier starting caliber linebacker. He's not gonna be a pro bowler, but a quality starter. A quality starter is worth his weight in gold in the league. Shaq, when healthy, starts on a lot of teams in this league because you need experienced guys like that. And we saw the difference of not having him last year. But all right, guys, I gotta get up off here. I gotta go eat. This is the longest stream I've done since the draft. Literally 2 hours. I'm surprised I didn't get that look from my old lady. And Hard Knocks premieres tonight. I'm finna go laugh at Caleb Williams. I might go laugh at Caleb Williams and his painted fingernails or whatever he does. Yeah, that food calling. My stomach growling. Y'all can't hear it. My stomach growling. I appreciate everybody watching. Make sure you are subscribed if you have not, man. Preseason's coming up, man. I can't wait to break down the film. I'm back at training camp next weekend. I'll be next week. I'll be live streaming next Tuesday, of course. Maybe I'll do a surprise live stream before then, but if not, I'll be live streaming from Charlotte next Tuesday. Of course, I appreciate you guys watching. It was a very, very lit show. Very, very lit show tonight. Y'all have kept me very, very entertained. Very, very entertained. Yeah, I'm just messing with Caleb Williams. I'm very curious about the Bears. Probably go cry over DJ. DJ Moore getting the contract and all that and being all happy and thriving because he should be our wide receiver one right now, but it is what it is. I'm out of here, man. Love y'all. See y'all next week. Subscribe if you have not. Peace.